Hey, Jesse, how's it going?
It's going great. How are you?
Perfect. I'm good. So I saw that your family went to Jackson this weekend. How was that?
Yeah, we did. Oh, it was so much fun. Really, it's just so nice to get out sometimes.
I hear that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's perfect. Okay, so you're the new guy on the team. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. There's
Okay.
some nervous energy, obviously. I'm feeling good though. I'm feeling good. Yeah. In fact, when you pulled me out, I was actually just in the middle of a call. So
Hey, awesome. That's
yeah.
perfect. I mean, I probably should have waited, but
No,
sorry
you're
about
good.
that.
No problem. Wasn't a big deal at all.
All right, sweet. Okay, Jesse, so I know you might. Do you feel a little bit nervous?
A little bit. Maybe I'm just a little confused because it was kind of like in the middle of a call. So I was like,
Yeah.
Okay, well, not sure what this is about, but obviously I trust you. And.
Okay, yeah, no worries. I just wanted to sit down and basically see how everything was going for you. How do you feel like your calls are going?
I feel like they're going pretty good, considering, like, I'm the new guy on the team, so still getting kind of used to everything. And this isn't my first sales role, but
Yeah.
I'm feeling pretty good about it.
Okay, perfect. Have you by chance had the opportunity to go back and listen to any of your calls?
I haven't. Was that something I was supposed to do, or?
It's just a really, really good training technique just for you, just so you can understand and listen to what's going on the other side as well. So what are some things that you feel like you're doing really well
on? I feel like I've got the material down really well. So when people are bringing up objections and things, I feel like I totally nailed that. So, yeah, I think that's going well for me.
Perfect. Can you give me an example of one of those objections?
Sure. So typically, in fact, I have some written down. Let me just pull it out and kind of see what I had that I was thinking about actually earlier this week. So, for instance, one that we were working with, she was really concerned about the timing of their sporting goods. Apparently, we did a big shipment to them last year, and they had way too much, and so then they were sitting on a bunch of merchandise, and I guess they were kind of wanting to move it to another location, and they were hoping to use us through that. And so that was kind of one that, although I kind of have all the training material memorized, it was kind of an objection that I thought, I don't really know how to handle this. So
okay, perfect. So you just really weren't sure on how to handle the objection.
Right.
Okay, sounds good.
And I guess they are no longer with us, right? So this was a customer that, because of that, went somewhere else.
Yeah.
And then they put them on my list to kind of go back through and see if we could get them back on
Yeah,
board.
we were trying to have retention, just to see if we could see what we could do for them to get them back with us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense, because we typically didn't do that in my previous sales roles, where it was customers that had had a bad experience then had left. It's almost like taking a baseball bat to a hornet's nest.
Yeah.
So that surprised me a little bit, but yeah.
Okay. Well, let's maybe go over that. Let's role play through that and see how we can fix things. Does that sound okay?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, perfect. So you're calling me.
Okay. Hi, Bailey. How's it going?
Hey, good. How are you?
Doing really well. Actually, I noticed that you guys are located kind of in the eastern Idaho area.
Mm-hmm.
I actually went down to Jackson this weekend with my family, and man, I just love being up there in eastern Idaho. A lot of snow this year, huh?
Tons, yeah. Yep. Tons of snow.
Awesome. Are you a native then, or?
I am, yeah. Yep, I'm a native.
Okay, amazing. And have you been with this company for quite a while, or?
Yeah, I have, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I noticed here, just calling to kind of do a checkup. I noticed that you guys were with the company a little over a year ago, and we valued you as a customer, and we just wanted to see what it would be like if we could get some new quotes going for you.
Yeah, that would be awesome. But we wanted our merchandise moved in the past, and you guys weren't going to do that for us. Is there something that you're going to do for us now that you couldn't do in the past?
There's always an option. Kind of tell me a little bit more about what kind of services you guys were really pleased with.
Yeah, we were really pleased on your guys' timing and the quality of the actual product. Um, but we really wanted that product moved at a certain point, but it was just too much. So
Sure. That's kind of it's a situation where my hands are tied, obviously, as far as making a decision where that goes. But I could definitely see what we could do for you. I'm imagining that my manager is not going to let that go through. But what we'd like to do is maybe offer you some better stats on what your customers are going to buy this year. So hopefully you wouldn't have as much left over that you were sitting on and having to clearance out, if that sounds like it'd be good for you.
yeah, okay, that was awesome.
Okay.
So maybe in the call, let's take it to where instead of just saying, I don't think management's going to push that through, have it be a little bit more open so the customer feels like you are doing everything in your power to help them. That makes sense?
Yeah.
So instead of saying, I don't think my manager can put this through, say, let me talk to my manager, see what we can do for you, and I'll get back to you.
Okay.
Because it leaves it a little bit more open and a little bit more optimistic. How does that sound?
That sounds great.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. So I have a few more questions for you. How do you feel, what are some things that you feel like you're not doing as well at?
I think I kind of already mentioned it. Obviously,
Just handling the objection.
right. A little bit of lack of experience in this circle with the sporting goods stuff. I've never done this, but I mean, like I said, I think I'm doing pretty well as far as I got the script down, pretty much memorized. I'm rolling through. Yeah, I feel like I've kind of done everything that you guys asked me to do as a new employee.
Perfect. Yeah. No, you're doing awesome. So you said that you memorized the script. Do you kind of feel like you might be hard closing a little bit, or getting a little bit like, I don't want to say anxious or aggressive, but sometimes when like you memorize scripts and you haven't found your flair a little bit, it might sound a little harder. Do you feel like you're doing that by chance?
I don't think so. Like I said, this isn't my first sales role, so
Yeah.
I feel honestly really like I've kind of found a good pace with it. But
Okay.
have you been getting complaints or something, or
not necessarily complaints? Just so that you're aware, I just went back through and listened to a few calls, and it just sounded a little bit aggressive towards answering the client's questions. But I just want to ask you a really quick question. So we've all had those telemarketer calls, right? How would you feel if somebody called up and they were a little bit hasty or aggressive towards you? How would you feel, or how would you react?
I think I'd probably be more likely to hang up, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so now that you're seeing the customer's angle, let's go back to this, and I want you to go in and listen to those calls and see what you can change. Does that sound okay?
Yeah, I can give it a shot.
Perfect. What else do you feel like you can do?
I think that'd be helpful for me.
Okay.
Yeah, I can take notes on that. I don't think that'd be bad if I go back through and listen to them.
Okay, perfect. Well, Jesse, if you go do that, what day works best for you to meet back up so we can maybe role play again to see how things are going?
My time is your time, so whenever works for you, obviously, just call me in.
Okay, sounds good. We'll just set up a meeting from there.
Okay,
great. Perfect.
Awesome.
It was great meeting with you.
Okay,
all right,
sweet.
Okay.
Sweet. Should we just roll into the next one, or?
Yeah, mine only lets me upload 6 minutes worth.
Okay, sweet. Sweet. Hey, Bailey, thanks so much for agreeing to ride in my car. I sure appreciate you, biting the bullet and riding with the boss.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about how your first couple of weeks have been.
Yeah, so they've been really good. I feel good about all my sales, and I feel good. Yeah.
Okay. Amazing. Fill me in a little bit more on that. What does feeling good feel like?
So I feel like I've just been doing everything right. I mean, I've heard a lot of compliments from other people in the company that say that I'm doing really well, and I'm impressing a lot of leaders. So so I feel pretty good.
That's a big deal, huh?
Yeah.
Kind of in the spirit of that and impressing leaders, Tell me a little bit about what your goals are within the company.
Yeah, so I want to eventually be in a leadership position,
Okay.
to where I'm maybe even part like going side by side with you, so because I want to lead my own team. So
Okay.
yeah.
Awesome. And obviously, I know that you recently graduated college. Did you have much leadership experiences in that realm? I mean, where did you graduate from? Sorry for
Uh,
the question.
Brigham Young University, Idaho.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
And did they afford quite a bit of leadership type experiences or?
Quite a bit in my classes actually. We had this class called IBC, Integrated Business Core, and we created an actual company with a group of people, and I was voted into leadership positions in all 3 placement rotations. So
Wow,
yeah, so I led the company several times.
that's amazing.
hmm
And what were some of those skills that you felt like you built at that time?
Definitely organization and um, listening, communication skills.
Okay. Awesome. You know, it's funny that you say that because in all of the reports that I've seen from the people that are helping you get adapted here, your managers, they've kind of said those same things about what you're good at. So it's interesting to hear that kind of come full circle and why you're good at that. It's because this isn't your first time doing it,
Mhm.
and we see a ton of potential in you. Obviously, I love having interns because I get to see what it's going to be like if they're actually on the team. And I would say 100% you haven't disappointed us at all.
Awesome.
Do you feel like you've been given the resources you need to succeed to one day be a manager?
Yeah, I do. I feel like I've received quite a bit of training. It would be nice to sit down maybe like once a month, one-on-one, just to see where I can improve or I don't know, motivation, something like that. But yeah, I feel like I've been set up pretty well.
Okay, awesome. And so you're speaking about a one-on-one monthly. Are you thinking with me
Yeah,
specifically or someone else in higher management or?
yeah, with you is great.
Okay, awesome.
Mhm.
I love that you're seeking that out early on. That honestly shows that you're going to be on a path where you need to be. And is there any way that you feel like we haven't helped you with the necessary tools that you need to succeed?
Not necessarily. No,
Okay.
I feel like I've been set up really well.
Okay. And are there any weak areas for you?
Um, like I said, I've received quite a bit of praise, so like I haven't seen any weakness in my day-to-day tasks. Um, so I right now I would say maybe objections.
Okay.
hmm
Awesome. So basically on where you're saying you want to go with your goals, where you're at right now is in the lowest starting position in the company. From here, you'll move up to account manager. So every time you take one of those prospects on the phone, you're talking to them, and then you say, let me reschedule a call, you're scheduling that with the account manager. And the best way for you to get into that next role will be for you to set up that account manager. If you're setting him up for success, that's going to be your number one key to success to moving into that role, which is then going to move into a manager role, which is right where you want to be right before you get into a higher management role from there. So in the spirit of that, I kind of wanted to give you some insight on what your account manager has said. And a lot of the things that he mentioned were that some of the prospects that he's been getting from you haven't been going through as well. Like he'll get on the phone, he'll get talking to them, and then they won't have a lot of direct interest. Um, could you fill me in any way about how you feel it goes right before you're passing them on to the account manager? What's kind of that last conversation you have with the prospect before you're passing them on? Let's just role play that if we could. Is that okay?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, awesome. So we're the customer. I'm the customer, and we're at the end of the call. So let's just roll from there.
Okay. All right, Jesse. So from from here, I'm going to hand you off to our account manager. We do need to get an order form in for you. That way, when you go over to the account manager, everything's laid out and they can get your order put in. How does that sound?
I've really appreciated talking to you today. I feel like you've brought a lot of value. I'm not sure if we're ready to order yet, though, with your company. We already have a supplier, and I don't know if we're quite to that point with our parts.
Okay. How do you feel like that supplier has handled your company? How do you feel like everything's gone with that other supplier?
It's interesting that you should ask because actually the sales manager that I work with in that company, we're like best buds. We go
Okay.
fishing like at least once a month in the summer. We even went ice fishing one year, so we're actually really tight, and they've done really well for us.
Okay, perfect. So I just want to get a feel for this. What do they do really well for you guys?
They a lot of things. I think honestly, my relationship with him is the thing I value the most. Obviously, that is important to me because I know if I have an issue, I can call him up and we're like buddies.
Sure, yeah. Perfect. So just your relationship?
Yeah, I mean, he makes sure that everything gets taken care of for me, just the way
Okay,
that I want it.
perfect. So on the products end, are the products quality?
Definitely. I think we really haven't had a whole lot of issues.
Okay, perfect. Well, that sounds awesome. So from here, Jesse, like I said, we're just going to send you over to our account manager, and we're actually just going to get you a quote. That way we can compare quotes. Does that sound okay?
Okay. Yeah, I think that'd be okay.
Okay, perfect. Sounds good.
Okay. Sweet. So what are your initial takeaways? Do you feel like with ranking with your other calls, was that a good call? Was that a mediocre call? How do you feel that went in the end?
I mean, that was a good call because I got him straight to the account manager.
Right. Yeah.
Mhm.
And what is your goal? Is it just to get them to the account manager?
Well, sales. So, like once I get him to the account manager, then I mean, I'm on to the next person. So, yeah.
Right. So I'd like to reframe this a little bit for you.
Okay.
So imagine that there was just one orange, and me and you had this one orange, and we're trying to figure out how to split it up. And I asked you, so what do you want the orange for? And what would you want the orange for?
I'm hungry.
You're hungry. Okay, you're going to eat it. Well, I don't actually want to eat the orange. I was actually planning on making a cake. So all I need is the outside of the orange. And so if we realize what our needs are, then it could be a win-win. You could eat the orange and I could get the outside peel. But if we didn't know that, we might, in haste, just cut the orange in half and both of us would be losing. And there is it, for instances in sales, when it's actually a lose-lose. They actually are super happy with who they're with right now, and us continuing to pass them up is not actually going to make them happier. We're just both going to be losing as we're spending time investing in this person. And so we actually put a lot of confidence in you as that beginning person who's talking to these people to decide, are we going to add value? Is it going to be a win-win or is it going to be a lose? We're both going to lose by just cutting it in half, and you're getting only half of what you wanted, which was to eat it. I'm only getting half, which I wanted was to bake the cake. Does that kind of make sense a little bit?
Yeah.
In what way do you feel like you may be shortchanging some of your people?
I mean, just kind of jumping to conclusions, I guess. So not actually following through with what they actually need.
Right. And there can be scenarios where we may not be the best fit for them. So I'd kind of like to leave you with, so I actually have this orange that I was planning on eating for lunch, but I just wanted to give it to you. And I want you just to sit it there. It's a brand new orange, so it should last at least a week. I wanted you to sit that orange there for a week and think about that. Think about, am I cutting it in half or is this actually a win-win situation? And then if we could get together next week, I'm just going to go ahead. I'll have my secretary set up an appointment with you in my office, and we'll just kind of talk about what takeaways you have. Would that be okay?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Awesome. Okay, thanks so much for meeting with me today. Appreciate it.
No problem.